Scattered across America are many towns similar to Peoria. Some of these towns have suffered the realization that they have permanently lost landmarks and historical sites, either by decisions of local school boards or irresponsible state legislation. Yet there also exist across America states like Colorado, which have recognized this pitfall and have set laws in place that protect historical sites from destruction. We wish to encourage the Peoria Unified School District Board to refurbish and maintain Old Main, realizing that this proactive decision would preserve Old Main, the local icon that has contributed so much to our community's culture and heritage. Recent administrative policies have resulted in an overall neglect of Old Main. These policies have allowed the increasing evidence of improper maintenance, resulting in a state of accelerating decay. We trust that the Peoria Unified School District Board will learn from the mistakes of their American counterparts, that once historical buildings are demolished, their culture and historical value is diminished, if not lost forever. We encourage our board to capture a vision that is vital, not only for the preservation of our heritage, but for the future generations as well. Is it possible for a country, a state, or a city to lose its memory of its historical and cultural roots? Absolutely. It happens each and every day where institutions, governments, and school boards make decisions neglecting our heritage by demolishing old community buildings and landmarks. We've already lost some significant landmarks like the Elementary Administration Building and the old PHS gym. It was stated that we could use pictures to remember. If so, where are those pictures hanging today? Old Main is a massive 50,000 square foot 3-story structure, a beautiful building with exquisite architecture. The educational facility was constructed in 1922 and has established itself as a community icon, representing the rich 88-year-old history of Peoria High School. We've had hundreds of former PHS alumni write in and share how Old Main has been a significant part of their lives and what Old Main means to them every time they drive by and see the building. Leverage used to sell the last bond election to the people was in part the promise of refurbishing and maintaining Old Main. After the bond passed, Old Main was dropped to the bottom of the things to do list. With final financial obligations exceeding former bids, only a portion of the money promised for restoring Old Main is now available. In other words, the bond election was sold to the public using Old Main as an enticement, and now that same money is being considered as a means to demolish Old Main. The few that want to destroy Old Main show evidence of a narrow and unimaginative response to the preservation of the city's most distinctive symbol. Numerous stress tests have been conducted in and outside of Old Main. The bottom line evaluation by the consulting engineers is that Old Main can be preserved as an historic building. They stated that the structure, based upon their extensive experience, is average and any deficient areas can be put back into working order. Using only 2 of the 3 stories, 375 students could be accommodated. In addition, the second floor could house the entire administration of the Peoria Unified School District. These facts do not necessarily suggest our recommendations. This is stated in order to convey the positive impact and service that Old Main could afford the district, as opposed to the recent idea expressed for tennis courts and additional parking. Demolishing Old Main would result in the destruction of a very unique structure that makes Peoria High and the district so special. The district cultural symbol would disappear and the city of Peoria would become more like anywhere USA. Few people know that Peoria High School has significant historical value for the state of Arizona. PHS was the first school in Arizona to integrate Japanese students back into the classroom following their internment during World War II. PHS was also one of the first schools in our state to integrate African Americans into a heterogeneous classroom and allow them equal participation in varsity sports with white students. Let us not forget these historical facts, but rather display them with pride. In 12 years, our district could be commemorating Old Main's 100th birthday. State and national recognition would be supportive on the school board's accomplishment of preserving our state's legacy by having the foresight to preserve one of Arizona's most prestigious landmarks. Old Main would stand tall and proud. It would meld the heritage of our past while representing our resolve to face the challenges of our future. It is ironic that while First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, was designating the city of Peoria as a Preserve America community, the Peoria School Board is holding meetings to find if there is a reason to save the city's most historical icon. Peoria's Old Main is not the only historic school in Arizona that is endangered. The Arizona Preservation Foundation has expressed that while excellent examples of adaptive reuse of historic schools has been completed, there remains a prevalent concern about other cities that are neglecting their ethical responsibilities for the protection of our state's cultural and historical buildings. Jim McPherson, a member of the Board of Directors of the Arizona Preservation Foundation, stated, quote, "The State Historic Preservation Office and State School Facilities Board are now working together to document our remaining historic schools across Arizona as an important first step to protection," unquote. The National Trust for Historic Preservation is another entity that supports the Committee to Save Old Main. Save America's Treasures has been the driving force in the effort to protect the places that tell our nation's story. To date, the program has supported 1,110 preservation projects in cities and towns from coast to coast, all while creating thousands of jobs and spurring further economic development on our main streets. Their slogan? Save America's Treasures. Established by executive order in 1998, Save America's Treasures is a public-private partnership that includes the National Trust for Historic Preservation, the National Park Service, the President's Committee on Arts and Humanities, and the federal cultural agencies. 2009 marked the 10th anniversary of Save America's Treasures grant funding. In its first decade, the program has benefited from the dedicated leadership of two First Ladies, founding Chair Hillary Rodham Clinton and past Honorary Chair Laura Bush. The Committee to Save Old Main understands that our current board was not educated in our community, but we also know that the board has visited and enjoyed the monuments like those in Washington, or the missions and the Alamo in San Antonio, or the various courthouses, churches, and landmarks that have been restored and preserved in towns like Tombstone and Bisbee. From world-famous landmarks to the familiar houses and churches that grace our hometowns, every community has something: a railroad station, a fountain in a town square, a mural in the courthouse that defines it, sets it apart from every other place, and makes it feel like home. These structures, objects, and work of art tell our story as a nation and as a people. An inspiring story written in brick and bronze and paint. Keeping this story intact is what the Committee to Save Old Main is all about. The Peoria School Board of Education must carefully explore their decision to restore or destroy Old Main. Conscientious deliberation must be given to the wishes of the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities, the federal cultural agencies, Save America's Treasures, the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and the Arizona Preservation Foundation, for their wishes is our wish as well. The Peoria School Board can work with committees that will help to secure grants that can be added to the $2.3 million that has been set aside from the last bond override to restore and refurbish Old Main, a structure and symbol that can be utilized by students, administrators, as well as the community. Old Main has been a backdrop for education in the Peoria Unified School District for 88 years. It has provided an ambience that has galvanized our community for generations. Peoria School Board, we simply ask that you make a decision that we believe to be ethical and responsible. Reinstate Old Main to the beautiful edifice it once was. Please restore and preserve the very first pride of Peoria.